What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. UPS finally came, dropped off 3 packages. They also picked up the Wolf Predator bus that I was returning due to all the issues I had with it. We are going to be getting Cool Props Wolf Predator bus instead, which I think I'll be much happier with overall. Even though I really did like that custom from a few feet away, I loved the sculpt. Cool Props overall I just think is a superior piece of art and better for me. In general, I find I always prefer licensed over unlicensed. Makes me wish I would have got Chronicles Raptor bus instead of my custom. I think Chronicles is definitely far better. Even if the paint job's not as good, I still think it's a far better piece. Alright, so this one is from F4, More or Less Exceed. They made a Vegetto versus Gohan Boo, or Boo Absorbed Gohan. Gohan Absorbed Boo, or whatever. Interesting. So here is a COA. And I like that. That's a cool looking art design. Very cool. They also included some glue, it looks like. So, not sure if you'll need to use that or not, but they included it. So, this is a statue I kind of delayed for the longest time in getting. I didn't really have space, and I didn't think it was... I thought there was a few issues with it. We'll see if I was right. But some people that had it said it was amazing. We'll see. As long as it's equal quality to my other DBZ, I'll be happy. And I just hope it can fit in a D12. Alrighty, so I see Vegetto's face. Looks pretty good. Better than pictures. Which is nice. This is actually the best way to do it. Just remove it like that. Okay, it's a little bit bigger than I expected. Interesting. Looks like they put this does have an LED function. Here is that. And here is the base. Has a decent weight to it. Pretty decent weight. All right, so on the bottom, it's limited to 100. I got number 69. And then here is what you see on the base. And there is a few statue parts here. Looks like a little cloud effect. I think this could be going on Boo, because Boo is injured. When Boo is angry and whatnot, he does spit out clouds from his nostrils or holes in his body. If you have not seen Dragon Ball Z, I highly recommend you watch it. Interesting. There's some sort of very small parts and what looks like an LED function, which is weird. And then here is a DBZ logo, because it just has the Dragon Ball. And it looks like this also covers the light up button. There's a little bit of a electricity effect that will go on Vegetto. There's a lot of parts to this. Even though this is just a 1/6 scale statue, there's quite a bit of pieces to this. I'm real curious on that LED thing because I don't see instructions, so I may have to ask F4 about that because I have no idea about that also. There's actually a second layer of more electricity parts. So You do have to watch that with DBZ. Sometimes they double stack stuff. I need to check this one as well. No, there's none. Yeah, this one had 2 layers. So as far as I know, I do believe this statue is sold out, in case you're wondering. You can probably get it on eBay. However, I believe I actually did get the very last unit, if I remember correctly. That was in stock from F4. So if you wanted this, you would have to probably use eBay or find an alternative site, like a retailer that would have this. But considering there's only 100, I think this will be a rare piece. So here is one arm. Now, Boo does look fantastic. I do love the color. I think the color of the pink is really well done. And then here is the portrait. I think this is why they included glue. Interesting. Yeah, like this part came off. Yeah, oh, this one broke off actually. So a cloud broke off this, and I think that's why they included the glue. So you can glue it back because they were anticipating issues. So looks like it's a clean break, but I will go ahead and glue that on before the review. That's how the head attaches down. Yeah, I wonder if they shouldn't have just made all those clouds not even attached, or the little air coming out of his head. Make them all just detachable, because that is dangerous. And I think they probably had a lot of damage, that's why they included the glue. All right, there is the different parts. Let's see, what else do we got? Here is an arm with Vegetto holding Boo's, basically, oh yeah, that looks really good. I like that blood ripped effects. He like lasered it off. So that's quite cool, actually. I like that. There's quite a bit to this statue for a 1/6 scale. It was also priced extremely good. So this does fill proper 1/6. There is no texture work, which I'm fine with. If I was to judge anything immediately, I question if the hair is large enough, or the head in general is large enough. All right. Let's see, there's 2 pegs. Looks like it goes like this. So he fit in there real nice. And then all right. And then here is the arm with the blast as well. I am going to say, though, based off my initial assessment, I do think this is better than I anticipated. So far, it seems the only issue is that cloud. Which, considering they included glue, I'm sure they anticipated that. So this is an arm shooting an LED blast. It looks like it goes directly in Boo's stomach. Oh gosh. I actually think it would be better to remove him, insert this arm, and then do it all at once. There we go. And just making sure. Is that right? I don't know if I have that LED arm in the right way. I don't think I do. All right, that looks like it should be in. So there it is so far. It's a little tricky getting that in just because he's blasting him. You have him holding the boo. And here is additional electricity effects, which I'm not going to let you guys waste time. Looks like they do have magnets in it, which is nice. And there's quite a few of these. I honestly wonder if that LED thing is a replacement LED, like they give you just a replacement. Looks like that is everything though. And this should be, yeah. I believe that's everything. So, here's what we got. We do have a little baggie with a purple thing, which I think could just be blood that goes somewhere. We have 6 electricity effects, 2 cloud effects, which looks like these just go on Boo himself. Yeah, like that magnetized. And then I believe that one goes there, or possibly like this. I think that one goes like that. I'm not sure what this goes to. I'm going to have to judge pictures. We need to re-glue this cloud effect and then attach the electricity. So I'll pause the video and fix all that. Alrighty folks, so I do have this all set up here. I've glued back the broken part, which was right there. Very hard to see. One additional thing, inside that little baggie, there was an LED thing that you actually have to attach to the in part of the arm into that. So that's what that was for. In addition, in that little baggie are 4 tiny little earrings. Now this was incredibly difficult. Holy crap. Not as bad on this ear, but you basically attach the earring, and it's so difficult due to the head angle on this ear. I couldn't attach it, so what I did is I got a little bit of the glue, and I just rested it and let the glue settle in, and now it's glued on. Honestly, I don't know why they didn't just have these glued to begin with. Why force us to attach it? So that's an assembly fail in my opinion. Check out this COA. Pretty freaking cool if you ask me. I like that. This is just the statue, but I'd display that because that looks really cool. So this, you do get 2 full 1/6 scale characters, more or less. I mean, Boo ends... no, you can pretty much see all of him but his, like, foot. But you have both legs, the entire upper body, and it looks really good. You got this blue underbase, blue and black with DBZ logo, which is fine. You know, blue representing Vegetto, which, if you're unaware, is the fusion between Goku and Vegeta via those earrings, which are Potara earrings that were given to him by the Kais. And Boo had absorbed Gohan, Piccolo, Goten, and Trunks at that time. So he was the strongest he's ever been. But Goku and Vegeta combined was a much stronger fusion, so they are able to defeat him with ease. Also, that little purple thing attaches to the, more or less his, what do you call that, a tail on the head? A head tail that he had blasted off. So the battle damage looks really good. I mean, most of Gohan's shirt was torn. There's just a little bit of orange and blue. You can see Vegetto's face right there. His eyes, which are red, are looking up, grinning towards Vegetto. He's pissed off. He has blood dripping down right there on his face, his neck, right here on his knees. So he is really scuffed up. And it looks great. There's clouds, indicating just how powerful Vegetto was. You have all these electricity parts, which are thick with a magnetic attachment, which is really nice. Definitely a step up from your typical DBZ, where they don't stick in very good. They fall out every time you dust. So now those Potaro earrings, you definitely want to make sure they're in there good, because when I dust, that thing could fly off so easily. I have not tested the light up. The light up is right there. It is via a AC adapter. So I will check it once and then never again. But there you have it. So I do think this is quite cool. I do like it for a 1/6 scale. It's a pretty good size. There's a lot going on. So, you can see just a size comparison, So there you have it, Vegetto versus Boo. Let's set it up in the DBZ 1/6 collection, because this was the final one I was getting. See how it looks. All right, before we set this up, I did want to test the light up feature. Now I've plugged it in, and then if you remember, behind this is a button. So let's check this out. Boom, that is quite bright. Look at that. Very cool. That's very bright. Look at that. Definitely a very bright light up. So it is shining all the way through into him. So pretty cool feature. Alexa, turn off video game statue room lights. Check how bright that is. That is very, very bright. Alexa, turn on video game statue room lights. So that's a cool light up. For sure, definitely cool. I definitely appreciate DBZ light ups. I just don't want to use them, because when they die, it's going to devalue it, and it's annoying having to plug them all in and seeing all the cables and whatnot. So it's cool. I won't be using it, especially where I'm putting it, but let's go ahead and see if it fits in the Detolf. Okay, so here is Vegetto next to some other Boo Saga statues. So I had initially tried to put it right there, but the top Detolf shelf is slightly smaller than the other ones. Like the tallest one's actually the bottom one. Like that Frieza will fit there, will not fit there, for example. But he will fit in any of those two as well. So he does not fit right there, but he would fit in any of those three. So due to that, I did have to switch it with Gotenks, which is fine, because this does give me 4 versions of Boo up top, where that Boo is technically the same as that one. And this is a transfer, like a absorbed Boo. So we got Fat Boo, and then normal Super Boo, and then Gohan absorbed Boo, and then Kid Boo. So 4 different versions of Boo. In addition, we have the tournament saga, Vegeta versus Goku, Deborah versus Gohan. That's part of the tournament saga when they were all together at the beginning, where Vegeta's not Majin yet. And then, of course, Gotenks, which goes perfectly in line with all of this. Those Gotenks happened... Normally, I'd love to put Gotenks actually right there, but that is too heavy to go inside a Detolf, so that's why that's there. I also like that as a centerpiece, because I think it looks great right there. So, yeah, as you can see, it clearly does fit. It does look good. I do think the head is maybe a little too small. Like, if you look at that poster, how big Vegetto's head is compared to his body... And then you look at this one. I would say the head is probably the worst part on this statue. I like the color of the hair. I think the hair is good. I think it should be bigger. I think the overall head should be about 10% bigger. The likeness is decent. It's not amazing. It's probably like I'd give that head a 6 out of 10, where Gohan's a 10 out of 10. That Goku's a 10 out of 10. That's a 6 out of 10 head, but everything else makes up for it. The outfit looks great. The paint job throughout the entire statue looks awesome. I love the LED effect. I love all the, damage, battle damage. I like the base. I I like the fact he's holding his tail and it's like dripping. Same with right there. Boo looks fantastic. No complaints on him. So Boo looks good. Yeah, the only complaint I would say is Vegetto's face. I think it should be a little bit bigger, especially that hair, and just slightly better likeness. It's just a little off. But it's fine. I think overall the statue does look good. Definitely looks good. And it gives me a Vegetto in the collection. Now, I've had Exceed's previous Vegetto where he's doing the Kamehameha. I do think that Vegetto sculpt is definitely a lot better than this one. You know, that one was in collaboration with MRC, so they had their sculptors work on it, where this one was sculpted by Exceed's owner himself. And he's still somewhat amateurish on his sculpts at this time when he created this years ago. He is better now. But, you know, this is like one of his earlier sculpts, and so he wasn't as nearly as good as MRC sculpts. But they used MRC Factory for the paint job, so the paint is, you know, just as good as MRC. I think in general, he probably should have had just MRC sculpt his portrait, and everything else is fine. The underbase looks good. I like the DBZ logo. The clouds look great. But overall, it does work for the collection. It gives me a Vegetto. It gives me a Gohan absorbed Boo. It's dynamic. I like the LEDs. I like the electricity effects. So it does look good. So no regrets. Plus, this was not an expensive resin. This was like $300 something. So not expensive at all. You know, like that's the price I was paying for some of these VKHs 6 years ago. So it is more of a budget statue, no doubt. It was not expensive. Low ES. I'm not going to display the COA cards because I'm not doing COA up at the top. I'm only doing COAs behind a 1/6 inside a shelf if there's a COA, but I only have 2 statues with COAs in there. Well, 3 actually. So yeah, that is it for the DBZ 1/6. Will I get any future DBZ 1/6? If they come out with something that's better than what I have here, then I would, yes. However, a lot of these are pretty much like 100% anime accurate, and I'm very happy with the sculpt and paint. Plus, I really love VKH's style, which is the majority of these. So I don't know if I'll replace any of these, to be honest. Would I replace this Vegetto vs. Boo? If a far superior one came out, then I would, and if it fit there. I do think Infinity Studios Gotenks is better, but it wouldn't fit in my display case. It's a very tall statue. Like, it would have to go where that Vegeta is doing the final explosion. I could put Infinity Studios Gotenks there. I think that would actually look really good. But it's also way overpriced. I'm not spending $1,200 on a DBZ 1/6. That is absolutely ridiculous. I think the most I've ever paid on a DBZ 1/6 is maybe $500 total. Like, I think that one was $550. I think that's my most expensive one. Everything else was, you know, between $200 to $350 for the most part. And I think KD's too are cheaper, more on the more expensive end as well. Especially their Vegeta. That one's actually, it was super expensive shipping. Anyways, folks, that is it. Let me know your thoughts and opinions below. If you haven't, join my Facebook group, DBZ Resin Collectors, where we do share all the latest and greatest DBZ news. For me, I am focusing now purely on just 1/4 scale. That is my focus. I only want to get a few more statues, namely all KD products, KD Trunks, KD Trunks. I think that's probably the only one I'm really waiting on them for, is KD Trunks. Short-haired version, just like that, but KD style. Give me that, and I think I could call it a day for DBZ. Because simply, I just don't have space anymore. I'm not looking to expand beyond this area. I've had a fantastic journey with DBZ, but I'm very happy with the end result. Even though I remember 4 years ago, I had DBZ from there all the way into the Zelda cabinet and about 25 resins on the ground. Yeah, I had an obsession. And then I did the mass surge, sold like $20,000 worth of DBZ statues in a matter of weeks. And it was definitely for the best. There are some I definitely really miss, especially Exceed's Goku vs. Kid Buu. The final scene, that was an amazing statue. One I definitely loved. Anyways, folks, that is it. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.